with some input from Krea's philosophy and KOTOR.
Nice.
Yes. Speaking of which, welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Hope you guys are doing well. It's the second hour of episode 30, Burning Crowns. And let's get ready to rumble. Count Swan, what's up?
I mean, I feel like some of my stuff, I have to wait for you to tell me that it can happen. But
Sure. Let's start with the first thing. Is that your equipment and stuff that you ordered? Your supplies?
no, the duel.
Oh, yeah, the Mivanese duels. Right?
I mean, the equipment and supplies that I ordered last episode, too. Yeah. Yes. And I wanted to talk to Millions at some point about the gathering of that person that I got spied on for doing. A person who could bring me sorcerers. But the thing that I actively want to do is this duel.
All right, let's do the duel.
Okay. I would like to circle someone's up, Eric. I would like to find the least competent of Ollie's suitors. And I have a quick description here, and you can tell me if this matches someone who might be one of Ollie's suitors.
Okay.
They are a city merchant in Miven. They are lower ranking than me. They are universally regarded as extremely poor in swordsmanship because nowhere does a merchant gain the ability to have sword. But on top of that, they're already quite bad at it. And they are not well liked by the local population. My intent is to summon this person up, bring them out to my area, officially duel them, and then send back word that I have defeated, a piece of Mivanese scum who is attempting to steal the Lady Ollie from the Mivanese people.
That's a good intent. Okay.
All right.
I have a question about it. Go on, you first, Sam.
But I want to avoid the issue we had a couple weeks ago. So I'm trying to make sure we talk about it each time. How long is it going to take to reach the duel? Like, how much time has passed?
I mean, I feel like the trip from Miven to Brevoy is only a few days.
Yeah, it's probably about 4 days.
2 or 3 days.
Okay, so it's while.
So a round trip would be like 8 days.
Miven to Brevoy would be like weeks and weeks, wouldn't it?
We go by water, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, we're not even in Brevoy.
Right.
Oh yeah. So if to us it would probably So whatever.
We're little Brevoy. All right.
My question would be, if your intent is to impress, isn't it counter to your intent to rustle someone up who is universally regarded as the worst possible swordsman?
I was going to say this is a very easy test, and for not a lot of success, you have to do more. But yeah.
I mean, I intentionally want that very easy success because Swan is also quite bad at swordsmanship. And if he faces an actual duelist, he will probably die.
Well, okay.
This is him like doing some training, right? He's doing some publicity stuff. He wants to get Lady Ollie's attention, but he also doesn't want to just die.
Well, we fight to first blood, right?
Do we?
Yeah, you don't fight to the death. I mean, you can fight to the death, but like that's way different.
All right, but I also want to win these duels, right? So again, I definitely want someone who is very unskilled and just knock them off the list.
So maybe you should wait until your priest friend can come bless you and make it.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, this is really good. Yeah, no, let's do it. Okay, let's do a circles test because I would love this because there's probably people who would be chomping on the bit to know that you throw your hat in the ring who are not amateurs. To knock down a Brevish noble would be a lot of fun. So obviously that's the consequence of failure here for this circles test.
But is this a relevant test? I guess hearkening to my question, right? Like, is it if the intent is to impress, is there a reason to can it be achieved with this?
Because if you can circles up the person that you need to in order to impress them, I feel like that's the big thing to impress. Then that's it. But if you fail this roll, then we have to do. You're gonna have to end up fighting someone else who was not a sure win for you.
What it sounds like is that Arthur's trying to break this up and make it so it's like a series
it's a complicated
to impress instead of one big duel.
I mean, this is the first duel.
All right. My impression was you were trying to convince people that you were trying to impress people with your fighting skills by beating up a guy in a wheelchair. which to me like sounds preposterous. And like, yeah, you could make the roll, but it's not gonna do anything, right? Like, but if that's not your intent, then I just got it wrong. So never mind.
Speaking of, by the way, I don't know if you've ever watched Into the Badlands, but don't make fun of beating up people in wheelchairs, because that dude that was in the wheelchair fucking whooped that dude's ass.
Yeah, I guess it's not a good generalization to make. I wasn't trying to be offensive. I was just trying to get the message across, right? Like,
all right,
there is
what's my difficulty here, Eric?
So the first part here is circling, because we got to find this person, right? We got to find
same life path.
Yep, merchant, same. That's why you chose it.
Yep,
well played.
Also, merchants don't have access to sword skills, so that's very important for me to not die.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't need a specific like unusual disposition of knowing how to fight with swords. You specifically
I want him to have. I want him specifically to be absolutely fucking terrible at it.
Right. That's
like
what I'm
not
saying.
only does he not have the sword skill, but like his whatever sword's opening is, his stat that is also bad.
It sounds like all 4.
Yeah, that sounds like you're trying to get a very specific disposition then.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Okay, but same station. Well,
no,
you're no longer the same station, because you are a higher rank. You are a higher station than this person.
There's no way that this guy could be the same station as me.
Yeah, so this is ob 4.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would like to call on my reputation as Brevoy nobility.
Yes, you are. That's totally cool. Because the consequence to failure is that Brevin nobility means someone's going to challenge you who actually does know a thing or two with swordplay.
How is that reputation relevant?
Well, as you can see right here, it says that on a 3D reputation that anyone who has heard of the country of Brevoy has heard of me. And since these guys are specifically anti-Brevish, they must know of me, a Brevish nobleman who has recently settled nearby, and that I am attempting to hit that. And so I'm specifically calling this dude out, and I bet he's going to want to be like, wait, no, I don't want him to hit that. I'm trying to hit that. That's right. Yeah, I devolved into high school language, Daniel. Come at me.
That's if Eric greenlights that, then that's cool. I would.
You sound like you disagree.
Yeah, I do. Okay. That's like Brevish nobility should not impact your ability to circle up merchants.
Duelists, however,
it's about him knowing him.
Yes.
Yeah, but you can bite a reputation in the ass and chase it in circles forever and ever until you can justify why it applies to a circles test. Yeah. Right. Like the more you want to.
Well.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to make it an issue, right? I just said I don't agree with that, but that doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is that it's almost like infamy here.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Right. It's like someone's trying to punt. Like knocking out Swan would be kind of like knocking out a bit, like scoring a major moral victory against Brevoy's snobbishness, and
if
like
it counts as...
but it's green. Yep.
That might advance my circles actually.
This is perfect. So here's what we see like beforehand, like when this gets announced and stuff like that. Of course, you have I think we do see like a very proficient dueler being like, let me take care of this, guys. This would be easy and take once and for all. But then no, I think the merchant, like the bad one, is like, nah, is a stupid guy. Guys, don't even sweat. I'll take him out for you.
Everyone's
what
I mean?
Oh,
fuck you, Steve the merchant.
So everyone's super excited to like be like, oh no, I want to do it. It's like no, like guys, no, listen. It's gonna be me. This guy's complete scum. Let me do it, right? And so everyone's like, okay, all right, man, like do it. So they're kind of letting this guy have a I would love it if you swindled him out of a deal in the past too, to make it even sweeter.
Oh,
no. Swan doesn't swindle people out of deals.
I mean, you just outplayed him, right?
Okay. I mean, I definitely love it if I like bankrupted his uncle by buying him out or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he has a very personal reason to fight me.
Yeah, and that's what he says. He's like, no, this one's on me. He personally bankrupted my family, or something like that. I can't show my face in silk markets ever again. Like he's gonna come in. All right, so like something like that, right?
Is this duel taking place at Kurasuno, or are you going?
So no, I'm bringing him there, and I'm.
Wait, you're dueling him in Kurasuno?
Yes, I'm bringing him to me in a round
trip. Okay. I didn't know that was specified. That's gonna be weird.
Why?
I feel like the duels have to take place in Mivon because it's sort of like a Mivonese tradition, and if you do it outside of Mivon, it doesn't count.
All right, I'll accept that. I will go there.
You know, it's a tradition thing in Mivon to do this stuff. So like to do it outside of the lady watching, of Ali watching, I think is the deal.
Well, I mean, what I was gonna say is I was gonna invite her to come as well, and then if I was successful, she would like stay a couple days and hang out with me as a reward.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Then we actually
I know.
Then can we like back up real quick and if you still want that, then that has to be like a persuade test to be like, hey, come over here, we can show you a good time, basically, like, or like seduction, frankly, right? Like, come here, show a good time, and I would even duel this person for you, right? I'll pay your fares, I'll take care of you on this little trip here, and that kind of stuff, right? And I'll duel for your honor in front of you here.
So in 300 years,
what do you think? Does that sound good?
Yeah, well, Ken Burns
it doesn't sound good. I think it sounds uninteresting. Yeah. Like what is the interesting conflict in whether or not Swan can get this person to like come and see the duel or something? I don't think that's interesting.
That's fair. I can, because that's what I mean. Like I can see it. Like it doesn't seem like a good consequence to failure.
Yeah, I'd say we just say yes to it. I mean, we know that Swan is a persuasive and seductive fellow, so like, I mean.
Yeah, the true interesting part of that would be the conversation that happened between them after the duel, right? Like that's where the meat is.
Okay, let's do that. All right, so
Daniel. Wow.
Yep. Smash.
So let that one slide.
Yeah. Welcome to Burning Crowns, where we let the meat slide. Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. So, Karasu knows where the duel takes place. Ollie's here. So is it? What's the merchant's name? You circled him up. So what's his name?
The name's Steve.
Steve. Fucking Steve. Okay.
Steve.
I mean, so his name's gonna be
his name is Steve Gary.
Traditionally French name.
Yeah. Steve Gary of House Gary. All right. So are we gonna like do this duel first? Is that gonna be the first thing we're gonna do here?
Let's do it.
Okay. So obviously this isn't gonna be a fight conflict because that's insane. I think
I'm not prepared to do a fight conflict.
I'm not prepared either. So I think it's going to be a simple sword test. Sword versus turd. Sword versus turd.
yes, that.
Sword, and it's a victory is to first blood.
Yeah, sword v sword.
Right. I think that's pretty reasonable.
Makes sense.
Yeah, sounds the most elegant way to do it from that.
You specifically called for someone to not have sword, though.
Exactly.
So he's going to be
uses his agility.
He's using his agility. He's doing it at half. Can he?
I'll tell you what I would like to do beforehand. I would like to spend
this guy's going to try to angle. You're gonna talk to.
I want to spend a couple minutes. No, to him, to Steve Gary.
Oh, to Steve. Okay. What do you want to say to Steve?
Probably we're walking along the docks, and I'm like, Steve Gary. You know, I knew a man with the last name Gary once.
Doesn't say anything, but he's obviously listening.
I'm glad you accepted my invitation for this round trip. And no matter how this duel goes, spend the week here. Anywhere you want to go, anything you want to do, it's on my gold piece. I appreciate you taking the time. You're a busy man, a merchant like myself, and you've come far from home.
Well, us Mivonese take extreme reverence to our dueling culture.
Cool.
I agree. I find it odd that the Mivonese and the Brevish are so at odds. Especially when it's clear to me that the Mivonese sword style is so superior to the Brevish. I've spent most of my time in the south, in the Rossland, and from what I've seen watching some of your duels, by yours I mean the city's duels, the Brevish sword style is clearly superior. In fact, I once knew a man by the name of, and I'm going to say Dominic. Was that the sword lord that got drunk and hit on Mason?
Yeah. There's a, I think so. I think that's right.
Dominic sounds right.
Yeah. He was very particularly bad at just about everything.
I like the idea that while they're like talking about like how great they are, like about this duel and sword, like Zitomir is just like standing quietly, looking so much more intimidating than I do.
Like the slow zoom out to like the arena of like other people who are actually practice duelists, just like looking, being like, "Is this
is literally gonna be fucking yeah."
This is the worst.
Can't wait. The actual duel is gonna be like, you guys can't even get the swords out. But like, what the fuck? I need help. I don't know how to do this. No, but like while we're walking around the waterfront and stuff like that, Gary is gonna ask for see if Gary's gonna ask for like a little bit of permission to speak a little openly. Is this a place that happens? Right?
Of course, Steve Gary.
Oh, then we've already had that. Okay, then he doesn't. That already
your
happened.
Mind.
He says. About the relations between Brevoy and Mivon, it says, I agree with you. There's not much difference between Brevoy and Mivon, except for one very keen detail. Well, sometimes we are particularly stubborn and inept at certain things. The key difference between someone from Mivon and someone from Brevoy is that someone from Brevoy will actually give up. Especially in affairs that mean so much to someone.
I find it interesting that you say that. Steve Gary, I hope that in this and all duels I hope to fight, I can show you just how wrong you are about Brevish nobility.
You don't have to show me anything. History has shown us exactly as much as I need to know.
I want to like adjust.
You were the ones who you capitulated under Coral the Conqueror. Those who continued the fight left for
I'm gonna adjust this cloak and say, my good boy, my clan didn't capitulate under Coral the Conqueror. We were Coral the Conqueror. Good. And then I show him my cloak that has 2 gold dragons on the back.
Yeah. And then the anime eyes, like, whoa, and then we go. So now I think we should cut to the duel real quick and do the sword test.
Sounds good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let's keep going.
So what's
try to keep it snappy with having some good stuff too.
Sounds great.
What's the failure consequence?
I think the failure consequence is I lose the duel.
You lose the duel. You're out of the running for running with Ollie. You lost fair and square. That's how important duels are. People.
Does that matter?
Yes, it does, my friend.
I mean, his character wants to marry.
My belief literally says that it matters, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What does the belief say?
The belief is about getting closer to Ollie through the dueling.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
ensure a closer relationship with Mivon and its social gateway. Gateway in this case being Ollie.
So here's I'm gonna clarify a little bit of stuff about I think how I see the culture of Mivonese going is that if a lady is in waiting and declares that they're in waiting, then basically they're not allowed to date someone outside of the dueling pool. But at the same time, whoever can date her has to you can either kind of sit there awkwardly and let tension build up till someone makes a move and be like, okay, I gotta declare a duel, and fight sort of positional ranks that way.
Yep.
It's not like constant fighting. It's not like you're trying to get merit badges or whatever, right? It's just a matter of actually, what if you do? What if you have to you get a piece of the person who signed up showing that you won? Do you win their sword?
That sounds pretty dope.
I like that.
Yeah, you win your sword. And so when you show their hand, you're like, look at these swords I got you. What do you think? Right?
Yeah,
I feel that's fucking that's
there's
dank.
Like a bragging contest before each duel where the weapon handlers put out a rack of swords and people they go through behold the sword that I won in duel with the king of Arlonia. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You win their sword.
Skewered him good, I did.
Yeah, so I guess it's gonna be it's a pretty looking sword to make a mighty fine collection, or may find a piece to my collection. So let's go. Let's use S words.
All right, so Swan is now wearing 3 swords. Swan has his original family sword. He has the Abadar sword, and he has his new superior longsword.
Which will you use for the duel?
Abadar sword is a superior longsword, just so you know.
I wasn't aware of that, but now I have 2 superior longswords. He will not stain the Abadarian blade in the blood of a duelist. That's for world-changing events. So
that's the
Abadar blade.
Save this one for the gods.
The Abadar blade is down pointed on his back. his family sword is up, pointed on his back, and the superior longsword he picked up at the estate sale is at his hip, and that's the one he's using. He's crossbody drawing that one.
Okay.
From far away, Mason applauds having a sword at the hip, being like, progress.
All right, let's do it. All right, so this is going to be a sword test.
Fork peasant-wise. I know how these peasants fight. I've heard... Oh, shit. You know what? I also want to fork merchant-wise for this, but you're saying no. You're saying
merchant-wise, I'll allow. Peasant-wise, no.
Really? Peasant-wise, no? I
mean, he's not a dude with a pitchfork. You know, he's a merchant from a dueling class, so even if he doesn't really know it, how to fight with a sword,
with the possibility.
He's still rolling straight up agility, but like this guy fights. If you had like Mivanese sword, if you had like sword style, like Rosslyn sword style wise or something, I would allow it.
Right, but let me hit you with this, Eric.
Sure, hit me with it.
Imagine, if you would, that you're a merchant that every day is dealing with peasants, and you listen to them be like, "Yeah, if I could get one of those lords in the fighting ring, I'd hit him with like that, and then one of these, and one of those." And Swan's been listening to that for 20 years. He's got a pretty good idea what this guy's going to attempt.
It's like
I feel like that's encompassed by sword already.
All right, okay. As long as you're giving me merchant-wise, I'll take it.
Yeah, but I'll give you merchant-wise.
And I definitely am spending 2 of my 3 persona points here. I need every point I can get.
Okay.
I don't think I can fork anything else. Unless
boxing, brawling, or appropriate melee skills.
Nope.
Nope, so this guy's just
I really wish I had
intimidate
agility trained so I could be like, Gah!
I don't even...
All right.
I mean, what's a random dude's agility?
Probably specifically said it should be bad.
Average stat line is 4. Average stat line is 4.
So then bad is 3. You did ask for someone who's bad, so it's 3. It's rolling 3 dice.
So
that's all he's got. I feel like he has that, but I feel like I'm gonna give him fate because you ruined his house and he cares.
Christ. Well, I'm gonna fate as well. Fuck this shit.
So don't forget, this guy needs 2 successes for every one of Swan's.
Sounds good to me.
So this guy's looking at an ob 6.
Nope, he fails. So you win.
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does success look like here?
How many extra successes? He doesn't even have 1 success, right? Because he got half, and I got 3. So I want to spend 2 of my successes to finish this duel 20% faster than normal.
Okay.
It's literally just like Swan smoothly draws a sword, and the other guy's like still fooling with it, and Swan waits there for him to approach. And then we see Swan's new sword style. Like, we saw Swan wildly hacking away at the Raven. But now Swan has specifically been practicing Nivanese sword blading with Saidomir as part of his training. And it's all like hanging back, waiting for a moment, and then straight cuts in right towards extremely dangerous places.
This is the scene from Mask of Sorrow, like when they first start in the cave, where fucking Antonio Banderas like pulls out a rapier and is like, "Whoa, yeah!" But like Antonio Banderas just like clips it out of his hand with like a single horizontal move.
Exactly. I let him keep picking the sword up, but it's pretty clear from the beginning that I've won. And at the end, it's just me like bonking him on the head, knocking him out. Swan wins very, very quickly.
Everyone cheers.
Yay!
On the long list names of suitors, like your rank goes up by 1.
Yeah, I knocked Steve Gary off the bottom.
Yep.
Suck it, Steve Gary.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. So you're on the list, and
wow, my persona did not help me at all. Fuck you, persona.
Yep. So then from then on, so I assume we're doing stuff with Ollie, showing them around Caracino.
Yeah, but we can jump to somebody else.
Yeah.
Enough about me. How about the 2 of you?
So, I mean, I can go just because timeline-wise. The only other thing that I have to do in town before I set out after Mason is just have a quick conversation with Swan, because I would like to compliment him on his victory. After coming out of the woods, and also like let him know that I'm about to leave.
Wait, Did anything happen in the woods?
Yeah, that's what we need to talk about.
I feel like we're skipping past that part.
Yeah,
I'm hoping the answer is no, but
yeah, me too.
Also, we should probably like resolve what Swan does in Mivon before you have a conversation about how the trip to Mivon went.
I think I brought them here. Right?
They brought them to Karasuno. Remember, we agreed that they just said yes to that, and they were in Karasuno.
I thought you said that you had to go to Mivon because that was how the culture worked.
But we brought the lady to me as well.
It was uninteresting to have the test, so then we said yes to them coming.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, it was not interested having the test. Okay, yeah, fine. That's cool. Okay.
Yep. Okay, awesome. Yep. So let's talk about the actual the Untouchables in the woods with you, Silius. So, this is going to be. So what exactly are you doing? You're just on like a march, like looking around, or aren't you on like a quest to like actually defeat something?
I think Swan's instructions was to scour the like periphery of the woods all the way up to the river, up to the what's it called? Skunk? Shrike? Thorn. Up to from the Skunk River, follow the tree line up to the Thorn River, and then come back home.
Looking for any signs of bad stuff.
Which I get would
everything from bandits to bugbears we need to eliminate.
Which I guess would have been phrased something like follow the river until you get to the forest, then follow the forest until you get to another river, and then follow. We don't have a map of the area, so
we do have a map of the area.
But not that area.
Yeah. So how are we going to? I want to like jump through this somewhat because you don't have a belief on the line, so I don't feel like we need to do like stop, roll, explore, and do like a hex crawl real quick. Like I don't feel like that's necessary. So I feel also, like we can montage this together and come into certain things based on like a single roll, which I think is probably what? Observation? Because you're scouting
I want to be
stuff.
Clear. I'm not making any roll here. I did the things that Aurelius was doing. He's not a fool enough to like actually try to command this army. He's just gonna let Rolf do his job. Right? Like I'm not like I'm here
I think that's success. I think that's an interesting part of success is that I think they're kind of looking at you, expecting you to do that. Are you going to tell them that? I don't think this requires a roll, but are you going to tell your troops that being like, "Oh, I'm not a tactical leader. I just heal people." Is that what you're like? Do you?
No,
we have to.
Here's what I will say.
You're going to have to specify that to the troops.
Here's what we'll do.
It's fine. It's no roll necessary.
Like either a roll is necessary or not. But the way that Aurelius puts it is like, as we're doing this, as like people are looking at him to like make commands, he's going to say, Abadar says every tool in its place and every tool in the right hand. I am a prophet, a healer, and a priest, and I will fight with my bow. Should we run into trouble, I will stand with you, men and women of the Untouchables, as we ride into combat. But your leaders are wise and capable, and I trust them. They have my trust, and they have Abadar's.
Okay. So,
does something evil this way come?
Yes, and that's why I think we need to do an observation versus stealthy.
Cool. What does failure look like?
We're going to do a quick little a fight will break out, which once again will resolve with a quick either like bloody versus I don't want to do ranging cover for it.
Yeah.
You're not threatened. I don't think you're threatened to die from it. We'll talk about failures if we get to it, but that could be
sure.
But yeah, it would be that you get engaged with the force.
Yeah, I mean this is what like 500 riders, right? Like riding in a screen. So it's probably whoever is furthest in the forest gets jumped by something nasty.
Yeah, I mean if there is a roll, I'm happy to help on the observation roll to find the thing. And the way I would like to help is with persuasion, with what I said before. Basically, I'm like trying to persuade them to like be like, oh yeah, so and so's a really great scout. Like Eratos is this, nothing. All right.
Sorry, that's already there. They're already in the best spots. They're a well-functioning squad, right?
Valiant jockeying.
Yeah, but that was good jockeying. No, okay. Try to see if these things have stealthy. If they have stealth, I assume they would. I mean, where are the monsters in the back? Yeah, there we go.
Rogues Gallery.
Found it. I mean, it would really make sense if they... Nope, okay. Really?
What monster are you looking at?
I really hope it's not the bugbear that literally says next to it, warning, these are character killers.
You literally have 500 men with guns.
Yeah, I mean, like, nothing of that.
The bugbear is like, I could kill any player character, and then it's just like,
yeah. I don't
Only
think
gray shade damage can hurt me, and then he's like, I can't advance. There's literally a wall of lead keeping me from moving forward.
Yep. Okay. Yep, they have stealthy. Okay, then. So, do you want to roll for the group's observation?
Sure. How many dice does the group have?
just roll for the highest.
Yeah, so let's say 5.
All right. And I'm not allowed to help. That's fine. Oh, whoops. I didn't ask for an obstacle, but I got 3 successes.
I got 3 successes, so we tie.
Well, does this thing have stealthy?
As a trait?
It's a skill.
Oh, yeah, no, it does have stealthy as a skill.
Okay, then it is a tie. And so if they're trying to sneak up on us, then we're defending. But if we're trying to...
It has a call-on trait.
Okay, then...
Then it can break the tie.
So, the Gnarl Marches. Let's talk about what this looks like. This appears to be... like, it's pretty much like your misty moor, right? So think of low-hanging fog, swampy pines around, and it's just really hard to break through. And like you're only just even on the periphery of it, right? As you're making it through.
It's one of those kinds of like 1,000-year-old forests that is just like nature vomited all over the place and being like, I don't understand how anything can be this dense.
Yes. And I think the big thing here, so the tie goes to my favor. Yeah, so there's we have a predator situation. We have a predator situation where it just seems that like people are getting picked off and they're not sure where or how.
Suddenly there's like a whinny of horses somewhere in the distance.
Exactly. And so we're like closing ranks, and and I think the first thing you see from that is a horse that's like obviously no one's on the horse anymore and just like run by, right? And you're like, oh no. So it feels dark. You feel almost like claustrophobic in this massive wood, right?
Yeah. So like I'm imagining like Rolf is like giving out orders and there's like it's like actually like being like helpful in getting them ready, and like the whole time like Aurelius is just like spouting off words of encouragement and is just being like, you can do it, like
I believe everyone.
Hold your fire until you see the whites of their eyes. That's useful advice, right?
Yeah, so you're like spurring them to be like, no, it's like let's keep going kind of thing.
This is my holy charge. I mean, I'm not going back to swamp.
Yeah, so you're like steady. Yeah. Okay. So then, I
mean, if I can see something, I have something very specific that I want to do. But if it's just like we're getting attacked and we have no idea where it's coming from or who's attacking us,
you have no idea. It's just it's like picking you off guerrilla tactics, right? So unless you do something to like stop it, then you guys just finish your scouting, saying you contacted something you have no idea. Right,
got it.
something
I know what
spooky.
I want to do.
So unless anything happens, that's what the result is, and you report back to Swan being like, yeah, there's something there, right? But you have no idea what it is.
Shoot. Man, I have no idea what I want to do here.
Yeah, like you don't have a belief on the line.
I mean, I do like I have to like see through this task. Otherwise, I'm worried that all of my soldiers are going to get struck down by the holy hand of God.
Yeah, that's true.
So
what do you think God wants you to do here?
Yes, I think God wants me to get rid of this foul creature. And the way I would like to do it is to make an apocalypse-wise check. Or actually, no. I mean, basically, I'm thinking of doing some sort of opening a wise here to like identify like whether that's like monster wise, whether it's gnarl marshes wise. Like I want to be able to be like, oh, if we're getting attacked in this way, it must be a blah blah blah. Look for blank.
That's a good question. It's not related to the gnarl marshes. I guess Fey-wise would be better.
Fey-wise is good. Okay, cool. Let's do that. What sort of ob am I looking for this Fey-wise test?
Yeah, so if you're trying to I figure out what this is,
my intent here is to make it such that we can actually fight this thing. So if Fey-wise is not an appropriate skill,
okay.
Let me know what an appropriate like skill or whatever is. I'm not really worried about trying to match my skills right now. Basically, I want to get to the point where it's like, okay, like we can actually fight this thing.
Okay, so your intention is to like figure out what this thing is so you can actually fight it.
Right. So that like over the week, instead of just like, all right, we're getting guerrilla ambush, we can't do anything about it. It's like, all right, here's how this thing is going to attack next.
Here's how we need to change up our strategy. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe it's
isn't that just Yeah, I think it's strategy.
Or tactics. No, it would be tactics because it's small group. So I believe tactics is based on perception, but let's double check.
Yeah, so this would be tactics. Is that versus anything? Or is it giving an op?
It can be a versus test, or we can do a static op. I'm looking the skill up.
You could set it. You could set an op for it and be like, if you succeeded this tactics test, you have changed the situation and can now try to spot them again or something.
Yeah,
so tactics
exactly.
Is will and perception. It's the knowledge of how to use a small group of soldiers to maximum effect on the battlefield.
I think it's opposite stealth, which I'll just carry on. So it's 3.
All right, so that's
right. That seems pretty reasonable. You have to beat the tactics that beat its stealth, which will now enable you to take another hit at its stealth. Another observation, essentially, right? Because that's what you want. Because like now, so what you're doing is you're positioning yourself up. You're like, okay, no, like let's circle around.
Set an ambush, essentially.
Right.
I think that's the neatest way to do it. I don't want to have to make this into another test. Basically, I want to set an ambush, and this time we're ready when it hits us.
Okay, then that's a little bit more difficult than that. Then we should raise the ob here, because I think tactics is the right call for that. But then your intent here increases the obstacle by something.
Usually setting an ambush is a tactics versus observation test.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds like another versus test, but you've changed the situation by being like, okay, we're not gonna just look for them; we're going to wait for them.
Okay.
What's the failure consequence?
Delicious leper covered in honey in the middle of the forest, naked, screaming as bait.
Sounds delightful.
So I think the failure
dies, the bugbear gets leprosy.
Well, I think the failure consequence is, of course, that LaRoche is going to die. But you see what it is before it leaves, but of course LaRoche is going to die.
Sure. So then at the very least we can report back what we found. I mean, this is always a scouting mission anyway. Yeah. I'm going to roll with my perception.
It was a murder mission.
They can help me. If anyone has observation, they can help me with their skill. Is anyone helping me here? Or I guess it's tactics, right?
It's tactics.
If anyone has tactics, they would be able to help me. But I don't know if anyone is. Maybe it's that everyone's too panicked to actually help me.
maybe Rolf is helping you, given that he is like barking orders and so on.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, he'd absolutely be helping you here.
Cool. So I'll take a die for that. And I am rolling against that one because it's versus test, and I need 2 successes for every one of yours, Eric, because I'm rolling with perception. Bam! I'll wait to roll fate until I see what happens.
And observation is based on perception, right?
Correct.
So we both got 1 success.
I'll re-roll.
Yep.
My 6.
So we tie again.
So it sounds like, I mean, we're sitting in ambush, but they're also been guerrilla tacticing us. I mean, if you have a call on, but otherwise, I think I'm probably the aggressor here. Maybe kind of. Yes and no.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if you're setting an ambush, you're the defender, right? They're walking to you.
The way that it's been described is them making attacks on us. But at the same time, we're trying to flip the tables on them. So it's kind of.
I mean, when you're setting an ambush, you are defending a location.
Yeah, but that is like less about what this is about, right? Like it is about who is the aggressor in the situation, not like who is being aggressor.
Oh, wait, okay. No, they totally should have had a die trait, I think. No. Not sure. They do have large ears.
Hold on. No. Wait. It doesn't matter. I won. If it's perception against perception, I won. You don't have to have anything because I have 3 and they have 2. If they're rolling a skill, then I have to have my successes. If it's just us against them, you can just compare them equally.
Oh, fair. They don't have observation, so.
Right. Then I win.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah. Good call. Well. Yes. So in the woods, there is something very large, very stealthy. It is in fact a bugbear.
So as
is it recognizable as a bugbear? Like, is there
I don't know if
that's fiction that
I don't
make it recognizable, or
I don't
is it just
know,
like
but
a monstrous hairy goblinoid?
But I think what we see on screen is we see a it's like I think we see like a raccoon or something like that gets cradled by like these willow trees. It's like caught in like a snare or something like that, and like we see like the trees bend down and pick it up and like hold it and like fix it and mend it itself, and then like we see like the trees kind of twist and turn, and we hear some kind of like old song, and it transforms into this bugbear, and it's like go forth and serve me here.
Yeah. And as I spot it, Aurelius will like point it out, and he'll say, there it is, there's the creature. And then he will cast out with his faith, and he will call forth, and he will say, Adjuro vos, I bind you, monster. And I'm going to try to use the thing that I used against the raven, which is, let me look up the specific miracle.
The restraining miracle.
The one that like makes it so that
Abadar, I issue to thee a restraining order.
Bind my foes
the restraining order. I like it's the restraining order.
Cast my foes in manacles of iron.
So it will call them to fall or cower. This player momentarily immobilizes the targets. Their limbs become leaden and their muscles flaccid. The effect lasts for actions equal to half the priest's faith exponent, which essentially means we get 3 shots off at them with an entire group of riflemen.
Yeah, they're just probably gonna die. So
well, one shot each, but there are a lot of you.
Let's see.
It takes 3 actions to take a shot.
No, it takes 1 action to 2 actions to take a shot, but it takes like 60 actions to reload a gun. So
right, so it's like 500 people making 1 shot, which is all I really need.
Right, like there is no question, right? Like if
there was a firefight.
However many people can open fire here, if that is significant enough, then it's just a question of the thing dying, unless it cannot be killed by gunfire.
But first, I got to see if I can actually blind this thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And how many of them there are, of course. There could be like 30 of them encircling you, right?
So yeah, I'm just going for the one I see.
Yep, so, of course you are.
I would like to use the help of my staff, the staff of Jezreel, for a bonus die. And I don't have persona to spend, especially right before potentially getting hit by a maul.
You can do it.
So
we believe.
4.
Have faith in Keeses.
I will re-roll my one of my failures with a fate. And since I failed again, I'm going to use my call on to re-roll all of them.
That's pretty good.
So that's
4 of them.
Yeah, we never describe what failure is.
4.
Yeah, that's a good point. What is?
But I don't have to for faith test though.
You don't have to. No.
I mean, if I don't get a single success on 46 exploding, I deserve to be screwed up. Okay.
Whoa.
Never mind.
Never mind.
I had faith. Don't
worry. We all believed.
So yeah, he raises his hand out, and the same thing that happened to the raven happened again. As this thing like appears out of the trees or like becomes something out of the trees, these ethereal silver chains like spring forth from the ground and like wrap around it and bind it to the ground.
And then we just hear a volley of gunfire. We see some crows leave the as the camera pans out away over the tree line. We see some crows fly off, and we go to a different scene because you absolutely killed it.
Boom.
Nice. Let's do Mason.
I was listening to the Mortal Kombat.
Or
theme,
actually,
so.
it's 1 o'clock, so we should probably go to a break.
But, finish him.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll be back. We're going to it's the top of the hour, so we're going to go back to our break here. And we'll come back for the third hour. See you on the other side.